Welcome to Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. Excited about today's show, but a little sad about today's show too, because yesterday was election day and Democrats across the state of Tennessee should just be appalled at what happened with the elections. I don't know about you. I did my part to try and get people out to go vote. I talked about how important changing the Constitution is to the state of Tennessee and to each and every one of you. I did my part, but somebody didn't do their part. Folk are not engaged, and we want to talk about that. We want to delve into what happened yesterday, specifically with some of these elections. And my hope is that State Representative G.A. Hardaway will be in the studio shortly, and we will talk about yesterday's election. And that's going to be the first part of this show. The second part of the show, we have Pastor Frederick Smith and First Lady of Life Holiness Church, Ms. Tina Smith. They're going to be the guest on Dialogue with Deidre in the second half hour of the show. So it's a show that you don't want to miss. So at this point, what we're going to do is invite you to go to our Dialogue with Deidre page. Make sure that you go to the page on Facebook, like the page, ask any questions you want to ask, and we'll make sure that we ask our guests. Post those questions on the Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page, because we want to know what you think, and we want to be able to ask the questions that you want us to ask our guests on our show. Also, visit the DeidreMalone.com website. I know it still has Deidre Malone for Shelby County Mayor on the site, and we're going to retool that, but at least you can learn more about what Deidre Malone, that's me, as well as what the Carter Malone Group is about and what we want to do and the role we want to play in having a positive impact on this community. And then you can email me at Deidre, D-E-I-D-R-E, at DeidreMalone.com. If you want to interact with me during the show, after the show, we look forward to hearing from you. So, you're watching Dialogue with Deidre. We'll be back in a moment, and we'll talk about the elections.
This past year, we all learned the statistics are true. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child abuse, usually at the hands of someone they know. Child abuse happens every day. Learn the signs and take action, because keeping a child safe is everybody's business. Make a difference. Visit safehorizon.org to find out more. Safe Horizon, moving victims of violence from crisis to confidence.
Did you know that every 34 seconds someone has a heart attack? Every 40 seconds someone has a stroke? But it doesn't have to be that way. Every day there's hope. Join me and the American Heart Association and get serious about your heart and your health. If you're doing nothing, do something. If you're doing something, do more. Find healthy living solutions from the American Heart Association's My Heart, My Life. It's that simple.
Hello, my name is Crystal Conley. I'm with Internal Health and Medical Services. If you're looking for a house call doctor, one that you can call, one that cares, call 901-421-5174. We provide mobile eye, mobile x-rays, medication management. We'll help you get your prescriptions refilled. We're the doctors that care. Call us 901-421-5174. Looking to hear from you.
I'm Dominique Dawes. How do you start your day? I always start with a healthy breakfast. Whether you're practicing for a game or studying for a test, eating breakfast every day can improve your concentration and help you perform your best. kids who eat a healthy breakfast have more energy to work hard and play hard. That's why you should check out your school's breakfast program. It's for everyone, so make sure you energize your day. Eat school breakfast.
Wow, Teller Brown is your drugstore, and your drugstore. Hey, we everyone's drugstore. And we're located at 3333 East Chevy Drive, 794-3690. All medical plans. We support supported living, assisted living. We do it all. And guess what? We even have a $4 plan. Hey, call and ask Dr. Brown about that. I gotta go because she's coming with those boots.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. Still waiting for State Representative G.A. Hardaway, but like we do, we just keep it rolling. We just keep on moving. So we want to talk about the election. What happened yesterday, Democrats? As I pick up my coffee and say, I'm proud to be a Democrat, something went wrong. When you look at the front page of the commercial appeal, all of the amendments passed. All of the amendments were not good for Tennessee. Let's talk about Amendment 1. We were fortunate enough to defeat it in Shelby County, but I don't know what happened in other parts of the state. So, you know, now women, when they have, you know, issues, be it if they are sexually assaulted, if they are victims of incest, if they have cancer and they have to make a decision about whether or not they're going to carry their pregnancy full term. There may be an opportunity for the state legislature now to say, this is what you have to do, because they will have the authority to put more regulations on clinics that service women and their health care needs. So, you know, ashamed to be a Tennessean at this point based on yesterday's election. Let's talk about Amendment 2. Amendment 2 passed. So, you know, there are those of us who were supporting it, Happy that Amendment 2 passed, because it was a catch-22 situation that when you think about what happens currently with judicial selections when it comes to the appellate court, the governor makes the appointment today, and then you have an opportunity at some point to determine whether or not you want to keep that judge in office. And it could be, 6, 8 years, then you'll have an opportunity to vote. What we voted on yesterday, and it passed overwhelmingly across the state of Tennessee, and it also passed really well here in Shelby County, was to give the legislature an opportunity to, once the governor makes the appointment, then the legislature has the opportunity to vet those judicial candidates and confirm them. Kind of like what happens at the federal level when the president makes a nomination or wants to appoint someone, and then the legislature, the Congress, confirms or denies. So that's what happened with Amendment 2. It passed. And then Amendment 3. People, you voted to make sure that the Constitution changed to ensure that we are not allowed to evoke a payroll tax, an income tax, state income tax, and I think that it was short-sighted. You have to think long-term, specifically when you think about this part of Tennessee, West Tennessee, where we're bordered by Arkansas and Mississippi, and a lot of the employees that come and work in our great city and county are from bordering counties and bordering states. Based on the vote that was taken yesterday, and it passed overwhelmingly, we cannot, the local governments cannot make the determination which would be in the best interest of their community to have a payroll tax. State legislature, the people across the state of Tennessee have spoken, and they say that they don't want it. The Constitution has been changed. So, those elected officials have to figure out where those new revenue streams are going to come from. And I just think the payroll tax would have been an opportunity for us to capture some of that revenue back from employees who work in Memphis and Shelby County but live outside of Shelby County in bordering states or bordering counties. I think it's just a big mistake. But Tennesseans voted on it, and so it's going down. And then the Fourth Amendment, of course, was to allow the veterans organizations to be able to, be able to gamble. And I think that's okay in terms of lotteries, and I'm happy that that was able to pass. Couple of things that I am pleased with. At some point in 2016, if I still, like to drink a little wine, and my local, liquor store is closed for renovation, I can go to the Kroger or Superlo and pick up a bottle of wine. So, like 36 other states in this union, we have that opportunity now, but we have to wait until 2016. So, another thing that I'm really excited about is the fact that Sarah Kyle is going to the state Senate. She's taking the seat that was vacated by her husband, Jim. Jim, of course, was elected in August to be a chancellor here in Chancery Court here in Shelby County, and he was a long-term state senator. I think he was up there about 30 years, Latrivia, maybe about 30 years. And so his wife, Sarah, who, let me just say, is very accomplished in her own right, and she will remind people of the fact that she was a judge first. She's an attorney. The only woman, I believe, in the state of Tennessee that has been elected statewide, and so we're very excited to have her representing us in Nashville. It's slim pickings when it comes to Democrats. I was the election night party for Sarah was here at the Carter Malone Group office last night, and a DNC member, Gail Jones Carson, showed me a tweet from the majority leader, Mark Norris, that said in one tweet, how many Democrats do we have in the Senate? Did I miss any? So let's name them. Sarah Kyle, Senator-elect. Lee Harris, current city council member, and he's now going to the state Senate representing Memphis. And then we have Senator Reginald Tate. He's also here in Shelby County representing Whitehaven and some parts of South Memphis, as well as some part of Hickory Hill. Then we have Thelma Harper, who is from Davidson County, and then a young man who is an attorney out of Nashville. I think his name is Jeff Yarbrough, Jason or Jeff Yarbrough. He's a senator-elect. And so, I mean, that's it. So very proud of the fact that the Democrats that are a member of the Shelby County Democratic Delegation, State Representative G.A. Hardaway, State Representative Karen Camper, State Representative Ramesh Akberry, State Representative Barbara Cooper, State Representative Johnny Turner, State Representative Joe Towns, and I don't think I've missed any of them, are going back to Nashville to represent us. All of them have done an outstanding, and State Representative John D. Berry, how could I forget him? They've done a good job of representing us in Nashville. You know, we all know that it's going to be very tough because the Republicans have the majority. They can basically do whatever they want. But I do think that with the Democrats that are reelected and those newly elected that are going up there, I think they're going to give them a fight specifically to talk about those issues that are important to Shelby Countyans. I mean, Medicaid expansion, universal pre-K, how we're going to pay for it. But I think that I heard that finally, and we talked about this early on, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, I think I read last week maybe that Governor Haslam did say that he was going to accept federal dollars to come to Tennessee for universal pre-K, and I'm excited about that. So let's also talk about the new mayor of Germantown. Germantown has not had a new mayor in 20 years. I want to congratulate Sharon Goldsworthy for all the hard work that she's put into making Germantown the quaint little bed and breakfast town that it is. You know, she's been a fighter when it comes to making sure that Germantown residents are not forgotten in Big Shelby. And so I want to congratulate her because she's a true public servant, and I want to wish the new mayor much success. I forgot to mention State Representative Antonio Parkinson. Touche, I'm sorry I forgot to mention you, but congratulations on your re-election. And I mean, you know, these people represent us. They go up there and they fight real hard for us. And I'm really sad to say that, again, that our United States Senator is going to be Lamar Alexander. You know, Gordon Ball was the Democratic nominee, and Gordon ran a good race. I think he should have probably put more money into Shelby County to have a stronger ground game, but he did have a heck of a fight, and he did do the best that he could to really take it to Senator Alexander, and so I want to give him kudos for trying. And then again, our congressman from the 9th Congressional District, Steve Cohen, he won a resounding re-election, And so I know he's going to go back to Washington, D.C. and represent us so well as he's done for the last, 2 or 3 terms or so. So those are the winners and those are the losers. And I just want to say, though, to residents of Shelby County, we have some work to do. And I think we know that. With Shelby County being a majority Democratic county, and we've said this forever, it is amazing to me that Democrats are not winning in great numbers some of these seats. And I don't know why. People will say that it's because we don't have quality candidates, or we can't raise enough money, or we haven't raised enough money. And I just think that, you know, we need to recruit candidates that are in tune and aligned with the needs of our community. Let me just say that one more time. We need candidates that care about what's happening in our communities and are committed and engaged in trying to be the change that we need to make sure that we have a better tomorrow, and not just a better tomorrow for our children and our grandchildren, but also a better today for what we need to do to have a better existence. When you think about the fact that we are electing people that some don't even do their homework on these issues. And it is just appalling. But who do I fault for that? I fault the voter, or those people who don't vote. And people are, you know, sick and tired of hearing folks say, you know, if you don't vote, you can't complain. Well, yeah, you can. And I'm listening to those people who say that, you know, they don't feel like they have a reason to vote. And we need to figure out what's going to be the strategy to get them to see that government has a major impact on your everyday life. And it's important to know that when it comes to job creation, when it comes to education, when it comes to health care, whether or not you have it or your family has it, when it comes to our criminal justice system, when it comes to whether or not we should build a new jail or build a new school. Where would you want to invest your money? I'd like to say, I know where. I'd like to invest my money in a new school so our children can have an opportunity to learn in a clean and safe environment rather than continue to invest in constructions of a jail. So I'm going to tell you that if we continue to go down the road like we did on yesterday, where we rolled back, in my opinion, a lot of rights for women and families in order to make decisions that affect them, specifically women's reproductive rights, then I don't know what to say about Tennessee. We are continuously going backwards, and we really need to be ashamed of ourselves. That's my opinion, and I'm standing by it. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre. I'd like to hear from you. You can post your comments or question of me on my Facebook page, Dialogue with Deidre, or you can email me at deidre@deidremalone.com. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to continue our conversation, and we hope that you stay with us.
This past year, we all learned the statistics are true. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child abuse, usually at the hands of someone they know. Child abuse happens every day. Learn the signs and take action, because keeping a child safe is everybody's business. Make a difference. Visit safehorizon.org to find out more. Safe Horizon, moving victims of violence from crisis to confidence.
Did you know that every 34 seconds someone has a heart attack? Every 40 seconds someone has a stroke? But it doesn't have to be that way. Every day there's hope. Join me and the American Heart Association and get serious about your heart and your health. If you're doing nothing, do something. If you're doing something, do more. Find healthy living solutions from the American Heart Association's My Heart, My Life. It's that simple.
Hello, my name is Crystal Conley. I'm with Internal Health and Medical Services. If you're looking for a house call doctor, one that you can call, one that cares, call 901-421-5174. We provide mobile eye, mobile x-rays, medication management. We'll help you get your prescriptions refilled. We're the doctors that care. Call us 901-421-5174. Looking to hear from you.
I'm Dominique Dawes. How do you start your day? I always start with a healthy breakfast. Whether you're practicing for a game or studying for a test, eating breakfast every day can improve your concentration and help you perform your best. Kids who eat a healthy breakfast have more energy to work hard and play hard. That's why you should check out your school's breakfast program. It's for everyone, so make sure you energize your day. Eat school breakfast.
Wow, tell around your drugstore, and your drugstore. Hey, we everyone's drugstore. And we're located at 3333 East Chevy Drive, 794-3690. All medical plans. We support supported living, assisted living. We do it all. And guess what? We even have a $4 plan. Hey, call and ask Dr. Brown about that. I gotta go because she's coming with those boots.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Back to Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. We are expecting Pastor Frederick Smith and Mrs. Tina Smith in our studio anytime shortly. State Representative G.A. Hardaway texted me, and he apologized to our viewers, but it's raining here in Memphis, as you know, and he had a roof leak, so he's trying to get that fixed. Somebody in the studio said that it sounds like he's a politician. I'm just saying. Okay. I believe you though, Rep. I believe you, but I'm just saying, some people say it just kind of sounds like you just tried to get out of it. But anyway, let's continue our conversation on the elections. Okay, so President Obama, how are you going to handle the next 2 years? I mean, the Congress is now Republican. The House and the Senate, they're running everything. So I know that you've proven that you can work across party lines. The question is, will they be able to do the same thing? Will they be willing to work with you to try and move an agenda that is progressive for this country? Work with you to make that happen, because I know that you faced a whole lot of gridlock over the last term and as you entered this term, and so we're just going to keep praying for you, because I know the next few years they're going to be tough for you. So let us know what we can do to help you, because that's what we want to do. Speaking of yesterday's election, and specifically Amendment 1, that a number of women across this state fought to defeat, me being one of them, here locally in Shelby County. What does the change in this Constitution mean for women in the state of Tennessee? The supporters of the amendment, the folk who voted yes, said that these clinics were not heavily regulated. They wanted to give the state more autonomy over regulating these clinics. They felt like more women were coming from other states that had more stringent regulations into Tennessee to have these procedures done. And so they just wanted to toughen up our laws, our regulations. Well, I'm going to tell you that that was a bunch of hogwash. The real deal is that these clinics, Planned Parenthood, Choices, are federally regulated. You have the health department going in and out of these clinics, whenever they want to. We had Ashley Cofield on the show last week, and Ashley was in the middle of an audit. State health department was down in her clinic. I thought it was interesting because, of course, early voting was going on, and that's what they have to deal with. So, again, this will have a negative effect on women, and I don't know what we can do to maybe we can change the parties in terms of the next 2 years. There needs to be a focus on making sure that we turn the state House and the state Senate back to Democrats. I think that should be a focus, and maybe then we can get it done. But at this point, it's just a sad day for women in the state of Tennessee. Well, while we'll continue to wait for the Smiths, there's something else I want to mention. Right during the election period, another piece of news broke that I think Shelby Countyans will find interesting. The current Memphis fire chief, fire director, Mr. Alvin Benson, is going over to be the fire chief for Shelby County. That makes you say, Why does that make you say, Well, I think you all know that we've talked about before that the current interim fire chief, Dale Burris, was one that the Democratic Party, I thought it was just brilliant what they did. They ran commercials that showed that the current interim fire chief allowed, when he was the union leader, allowed his members to just throw around a very derogatory name that when people really want to talk about African Americans, they use it. You know, the N-word. I buried it. I went to Detroit and I buried it. But he allowed his union members to just throw it around in a union meeting, and so I think that told me a lot about what he thought about African Americans. And so I guess it put a little pressure on Mayor Luttrell to not appoint him as the fire chief, but do his due diligence and go out and find someone who I don't think anybody can question with his level of experience. I know Alvin, excellent character, has been a part of the Memphis Fire Department for years and has led the department for at least, I think at least 7 to 8 years. And he's in the DROP program, so he will be leaving the city of Memphis anyway, and so what a great opportunity for him. And let me just say, those of you who live in unincorporated Shelby County and those of you who depend upon the Shelby County firefighters to make sure that if you have a fire that it's taken care of, you have a top-notch leader coming over to the county to represent you. So excited about that. Something else I want to mention is that you know that we have been for the last, let's review, how many weeks? 8 weeks, 10 weeks, working with Blue Cross Blue Shield on the Healthy Church Fairs. 10 weeks. It's been 10 weeks. Well, what we've done is we're wrapping up the series of health fairs, and they're free health fairs. We're wrapping them up this Saturday at St. Andrew Church in South Memphis. And so the event is from 10 until 2. If you want to come and have screenings done, you're more than welcome to have those screenings done, and we look forward to seeing you. If you need any additional information, just please contact the Carter Malone Group, 901-278-0881. Our guests, they've arrived. They're coming in the studio, so we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Dialogue with Deidre. When we come back, Pastor Frederick Smith and First Lady Tina Smith in our studios.
This past year, we all learned the statistics are true. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will experience child abuse, usually at the hands of someone they know. Child abuse happens every day. Learn the signs and take action, because keeping a child safe is everybody's business. Make a difference. Visit safehorizon.org to find out more. Safe Horizon, moving victims of violence from crisis to confidence.
Did you know that every 34 seconds someone has a heart attack? Every 40 seconds someone has a stroke. But it doesn't have to be that way. Every day there's hope. Join me and the American Heart Association and get serious about your heart and your health. If you're doing nothing, do something. If you're doing something, do more. Find healthy living solutions from the American Heart Association's My Heart, My Life. It's that simple.
Hello, my name is Crystal Conley. I'm with Internal Health and Medical Services. If you're looking for a house call doctor, one that you can call, one that cares, call 901-421-5174. We provide mobile eye, mobile x-rays, medication management. We'll help you get your prescriptions refilled. We're the doctors that care. Call us 901-421-5174. Looking to hear from you.
I'm Dominique Dawes. How do you start your day? I always start with a healthy breakfast. Whether you're practicing for a game or studying for a test, eating breakfast every day can improve your concentration and help you perform your best. Kids who eat a healthy breakfast have more energy to work hard and play hard. That's why you should check out your school's breakfast program. It's for everyone, so make sure you energize your day. Eat school breakfast.
Wow, Teller Brown is your drugstore, and your drugstore. Hey, we everyone's drugstore. And we're located at 3333 East Chevy Drive, 794-3690. All medical plans. We support supported living, assisted living. We do it all. And guess what? We even have a $4 plan. Hey, call and ask Dr. Brown about that. I gotta go because she's coming with those boots.
The Carter Malone Group is a full-service public relations agency. Celebrating 10 years of being in business, the Carter Malone Group is located in Midtown Memphis and represents clients across the country. No matter what size your business, if you are interested in promoting your product or service and increasing your market share, contact the firm that can help you meet your goals. The Carter Malone Group. Call 901-278-0881 today.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
I like to ride my bike to get some exercise, just kind of clear my head.
I like to ride because it's really fun for me and my fiance to go ride together.
I started riding my bike as a way to save money on gas.
I like to ride my bike mostly because it's fun and it's good exercise.
That's how I get everywhere. It's how I go to grocery stores, it's go to work, it's how I go to my friend's house.
Sometimes I just like to not even have a particular destination in mind, just to see different parts of the city.
Just going through the park, you see people, and if you're on your bike, you can smile or say hello.
I own 5 bikes. The green Schwinn is my grandfather's bike, and every time I ride it, and he can be with me where I go.
I'm not burning gas, I'm not polluting the air. In a way, it kind of gets me back to the kid in me, which is kind of cool.
Back to Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. Pastor Frederick Smith and First Lady Tina Smith are in the studio, and we are so glad to have them on Dialogue with Deidre. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, been praying for you. You already know.
Thank you so much.
So, what have been some of the hard questions that you've been asked since these allegations, these accusations have hit you?
Why has he picked on you, and then why are the things that he's saying so horrible?
Yeah. I know you have. And so what do you want to tell people about what you're going through right now?
Well, I mean, if there is a message that I can get across to people, is that the Bible says vengeance is mine. And with everything that has taken place, we have totally put it in the Lord's hand and the law.
Right. Exactly.
But far as exchanging words with the enemy, trying to explain anything to him or his audience, we've chosen not to do that, because the truth really doesn't need an explanation. God is real. Right. So I don't have to get it tattooed on my forehead. I don't have to get it pierced in my ears. He's a real God. And what we would like for the people to know is that if you put all matters into God's hand, he'll fix it and handle it for you.
Yes, he will. Talk to us about your ministry.
Well, I started a ministry in 1999. We started in the Robin Hood Park apartment complex. Started out as a mission. We solely just wanted just to feed people, give them some clothing, and then send them along their way. But God had a different plan. One day a boy called me pastor, made me fight mad.
Really?
And, yeah, because I didn't see myself as a pastor. I just saw myself as a young man that was just doing missionary work. And from that, 15 years later, we are pastoring. New Life is a great church with great people, built up on prayer, fasting, and being led by the Spirit of God.
It's a beautiful facility too. Is there a daycare there too?
Yeah, we have a daycare there.
It's an amazing facility.
Yeah, my wife operates the daycare.
Yeah, our daycare is totally for the community. It's at an affordable price. We work not only with allowing the children to attend there, but we do different programs with the parents, teaching them how to be parents. We make it affordable. We even let a couple go free just to kind of encourage them when they're looking for jobs or got laid off from a job. Then we'll make it so that they can keep their children there without taking their children out of daycare.
So First Lady, I'm sure all of this has been hard on you.
It has.
How have you handled it?
Well, I've thought about it, and I feel like God prepares you for whatever test he takes you through.
Yes, he does.
And even with all the allegations that are untrue, we've still been able to just keep on going. We have a praying church. Our members were prepared. We didn't know. We knew something was going to happen, but we didn't know it was going to be of this magnitude. Right. But this has made us stronger. It's made us depend more on the Lord. We seek him more than we've ever done before.
I even preach better now.
Yeah.
Do you?
I like my preaching finally.
And then it also made us as a couple, we had to just reflect on why are we even in ministry? Because, we did have some down days with all those allegations and accusations and stuff that we couldn't even believe that somebody would even make up on somebody. It made us just look at our purpose.
Right.
What is our purpose? Why do we even have ministry? And it kind of made us reflect, and then we begin to appreciate ministry more. So now we find ourselves, my husband and I used to say, oh, we just need to get out of ministry and just retire. Now we find ourselves fighting for the ministry and fighting for the people. And then as we look at the people, it's been our congregation that has kept us going. I mean, they're fighting just like we are. Sometimes we don't feel like going on. They'll have prayer meetings without us.
Yes.
They'll come together in fellowship. So I've just seen the Lord just take something that could have just been devastating, that probably would have destroyed other ministries.
Right.
But he took this thing and used it for his glory. We're closer than ever. Our marriage is closer.
That's what I want to ask you.
We bonded with our children even more. This gave us a time just to reflect on what life is all about, what's really important and what's not important. So what the enemy meant for bad, God turned it around, and God is getting the glory out of it.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I wanted to ask you, and I'm so glad you mentioned that, because at the end of the day, although you both are, people of faith, you're still human.
We're human.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you're married.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so has this brought you closer together?
It has. Yes.
God is good.
Talk about it.
In a lot of good ways, and in ways that, still hurt, to the fact that we've got to call throughout the day, are you okay? Are you okay?
Exactly.
And those calls are because of what we're dealing with. And so, it has strengthened us to know that, as everybody says, at the end of the day, that we have each other.
Exactly.
And that we're strength to one another. So I appreciate God even in this crazy storm for what he's doing for us.
Talk to me about the litigation. So I saw in the news that papers were filed.
Absolutely. Yeah, papers have been filed. We are in court.
Okay.
And right now, everything's looking really good.
Good,
Yes.
good. So let's go back to the church for a moment.
Okay.
Has this had an impact on your congregation? I know that, you've shared with us that the church is coming closer together, but I know there were some dark moments.
There were a lot of dark moments because where it's just like raising children. All of them don't mature at the same level.
Right.
So there are people that were very damaged. They were crying. They were retaliating back. They were using words that Jesus didn't like.
Right.
And it is, as a pastor, it is like a parent relationship. So no one wants anyone to talk about their mom and their dad.
That's right.
So when the people heard the things that were being said about their parents or their father, at least,
exactly,
it was damaging. It was hurting, and we prayed with them. We tried to encourage them, and now they are stronger. They went through where family members were saying, "Why do you go to that church?
Right.
You don't need to go to that church." And for them to live through that, and for them to still stand with God and stand with us is amazing. Just last night, what today is Wednesday, Monday night, my wife said we should do something nice for the church. And so I said, well, let's, we can't do like the billionaire guys, fly them all out to exotic islands. So we took all of them out to dinner. We rented a restaurant and we took them out to dinner, and we had music and we sang and we laughed and we enjoyed each other. So, I just thank God for New Life Church. I thank God for the members there.
It sounds like family. It's just family.
Absolutely.
So, what's next for New Life Holiness?
We're moving forward stronger than ever. I was thinking this morning, I don't like debate. I don't like arguing, exchanging words.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like confusion.
Right.
And to be pulled into something that I have spent my whole life trying to avoid, and so in that, God showed me that there was something in me that I didn't even know was in me. The ability to stand, the ability to fight back.
Right.
Because I've centered my life around being around peaceful people, people I knew liked me. If you didn't like me, we weren't going to be friends. And so to see what God had already put inside of me, and I'm not saying I had a spirit of fear, but the ability to be willing to take on challenges. I didn't like doing that. And to be able to take on the challenge now, to be able to be going down here to court, to be able to stand against the enemy and say you're not going to win.
Right.
So I walk away with a greater love for God, because the peace that He's given me in this. Because for a moment it was like a terrible nightmare that I kept waking.
Sure it was.
Yeah, I mean, because the concern for our children. I have a 13-year-old son, have a 3-year-old daughter,
and then the allegations that he just kept making up all these crazy things that were just so barbaric that we're like, wait a minute, I couldn't even imagine anybody saying anything like that about anybody, and to face it one day after another, this story, this lie, that lie, and it seemed like they just kept getting bigger and just wouldn't go away, and we're like, God.
It didn't even have to make sense, but it still hurt.
Yeah,
of course.
It still hurt.
Because the perception out there to people that don't know you is that it's potentially true.
Absolutely.
And so, it hurts.
And I think
and it could affect your brand. And your church.
Right.
Absolutely.
And but we did understand too that those people did not know us.
Exactly.
So that kind of made it a little bit easier, even when they would call. Like, we still get phone calls. We get phone calls from all over the United States.
My word.
People asking questions.
Good calls and bad calls.
Okay.
Yeah. There's one church up in New York. I don't know the name of it.
Albany, New York.
And they
praying for us. Yeah.
They put their whole church on a fast and
for
prayed
you
for us.
all? Oh, that's wonderful.
They went on a consecrated fast.
And we didn't even know them. And so far as support, the number of supporters have been overwhelming.
Right.
I've had people that I didn't even know knew me call me. I had people that knew me, I didn't know knew me.
Right.
Call me and called us and been praying for the church. And I'm overwhelmed to see that side. I'm still hurt that I had to see it this way.
Right.
But to know that there are people in the body of Christ that are willing to pray for us, to hold us up, because everyone has a strong support system, but for some reason in the church itself normally stands alone. Like each church stands by itself. And what I've seen amazingly is people from different denominations have called and been in support, giving me advice. You need to do this, you need to do that. And we never fellowship. And you know the church that we were a part of, you know, we just stayed with ourselves. And to see other churches that were not a part of the church I was a part of to come to our rescue has been amazing.
But that, I think that just tells you that God is truly in control.
Absolutely.
And these people that reached out to you, I mean, they felt what you were going through.
Yes.
And then once they had an opportunity to talk to you, I mean, they felt your spirit. So that's amazing. I just want to commend you because the two of you are so brave to do what you're doing. This individual has attacked so many people, and very few people have stood up to him the way the two of you have. And so you have to be commended for that.
Thank you.
And people are afraid of him. They're just afraid of him. They let him say whatever he wants to say, and they don't, you know, they don't come back and they don't refute. But you all have. And so I'm very proud of the fact that you've done that. And hopefully other folk will take your lead and do the same thing, because that's the only way it will be able to be ceased and stopped if more people stand up to him. So congratulations on what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's anything else you'd like to share with our viewers, I'm just so appreciative that you came before you leave.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
I just feel like more shows like yours, you know, positive shows that's showing the positive side of Memphis. We've got so much going on here. Why have a show that shows nothing but negative and want to pick people apart and create lies about people? I think that it's a waste of time. But shows like yours that's showing Memphis in a positive light, showing pastors in a positive light, that's what this community needs, especially with this crime rate and everything we've got going on. You know, I feel like things like this happen to bring us closer together, because we had never really heard of him prior to all this. And then we started hearing about all these other ministries that have been affected, and we're like, wow, you know, why didn't we ever hear about it? But then I'm finding out if you're not affected, then you really don't worry about it. But now that we're affected, we're like, oh no, this is crazy. So I believe that there's a purpose and a reason for everything. And when it happens, it's because God is trying to show us who he is.
Exactly. And he's in control.
Yeah, he's in control. And then to give us more than just coming together on Sundays, and you know, but giving us, there's a greater calling. Your calling is past the four walls in your church. It's to go out into the community, because we've met some people that were negative. But through the power of God, he turned them around. Like, there were people that were calling, the enemy would try to paint a picture like, this is bad, that's bad. And then the people would call and they would say, well, why do you have to wear a suit on Sunday? And we would tell them, but they were getting all that from his show. And we would tell them, well, you don't have to wear a suit, but if you want to wear a suit, that's fine. You can come as you are. And why does a suit have to be black? Well, but these are people in the street that are unlearned. They don't go to church. And so we were able to sit down and dialogue with them and just say, well, that's just tradition to wear a black suit, but you don't have to wear a black suit. You can wear your blue jeans. You see the little lessons that came out of there? I found a lot of little lessons that we were able just to instruct people and to teach people. They were asked, well, why do you take up 2 offerings? You know, these people, they didn't know. The show was trying to make it negative, but we were able to sit down, well, no, it's not 2 offerings. There's a tithe and then an offering, but it's free will. It's up to you. Then they said, oh, okay. So we've got a lot of people that were once on the negative side. They're now calling and saying, well, I want to come by and visit your church.
Well, it's and the other positive thing with the negative that the man or person tried to do, he's forced them to watch our videos now.
Exactly.
So now where I used to have 1,000 viewers, now I got 6,000,
7,000 viewers
that have listened to me preach the gospel. When we started this, we only did it for the first 2 years of my ministry, we never took a dime. It was because I didn't want to do it. So I didn't want to take their money. Then I feel like we're gonna be held captive. So for the first 2 years, we didn't take a dime. And when we first started taking money, was when they sent me a light bill for like $200 some. And I said, at this point, we need to take an offering.
You gotta pay
and we started taking offering. We never taught tithes. We never taught offering. Offerings and everything was just if you wanted to do it, you could. And to go from 15 years of working and serving the community. We do more than have church. We feed. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're gonna give out 100 boxes of over 100, 200 or 300 boxes of Thanksgiving baskets.
Oh, that's amazing.
We've adopted a family of 4. The mother's deceased and the father deceased, and we're gonna do Christmas for those children for November and December. And then in December, we're going to do Christmas all over again for the community. So we're not just a church; we're a ministry that actually touched the community, and to be attacked for doing work, to be attacked for serving people, to be attacked for preaching for free. I pay to preach. To be attacked for that, you know, is unfair. It's hurtful. It's devastating. But through the grace of God, we are prevailing. We're going forward. I'm not angry with that individual. I'm not. From the Sunday that this stuff hit until now, I've never called that person's name in my pulpit. When I get up in the pulpit, I preach Jesus. I don't preach hater messages. I don't preach, you know, go do this. I've asked my congregation, the people that I minister to not go on social media and say anything about the individual. We're going to pray, and we're going to let the law and the Lord handle it. The law and the Lord. Yeah, LL. Put it in LL's head and let them handle it, because I feel that when you just like I'm a man, if I got to keep standing up saying I'm a man, who are you trying to fool? Or who are you trying to convince? If you are what you say you are, then it'll speak for itself. You know, so that's what we're doing. No, yes, we've been silent. We've been silent because we don't have to answer those crazy questions.
No, you don't have to. That's the reason there's a legal system.
Absolutely.
Let the legal system handle it.
Absolutely.
Well, I am just so thrilled that you were able to come on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And in closing, we welcome you back anytime.
Thank you.
And we're so proud of the fact of what you're doing for this community, in your community. It's anybody can have a church.
Absolutely.
But the church is built on people. And of course the foundation of God. And let me just say this one thing. God allows us to go through these tests for a reason. It's just to make us stronger for the next round. And let me just say, you're stronger because of it. God bless you both.
God bless you too.
Thank you so much for watching Dialogue with Deidre. We'll see you next Monday.
This past year,